Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Welcome to Deckheads Chief Stews.
Deckheads, Chief Stews.
Stews. Deckheads, Chief Stews.
Chief Stews. Yummy.
Warning about today's episode is that both of our brains have melted.
Yeah, we're in a LA heat wave.
It's 1 million degrees.
So no makeup for me. I couldn't bring myself to cake my face and then like sweat it off as we spoke to each other.
I thought it'd be fun to sweat it off. It would just add another component of entertainment to the show.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
this ain't highlighter. That's just good old fashioned.
Sweet.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Oh,
Sweet.
sweet.
Did you see this new Vanity Fair cover with all the housewives on them?
No.
It's Vanity Fair. It says housewives and then all stars on the bottom.
Oh, does it involve a passage from the new book about the housewives?
No, but tell me more.
Brian Moylan wrote a book that just came out that's like about the history of the show, the franchise.
Oh, really?
Jack on cable TV, welcome to Chief Stews. Jack says, Texas doesn't have the energy for us to have AC. Man, I'm surprised California has the energy. I don't think we really have it either.
But a lot of places in LA, unfortunately, were not built with AC because they're like, you're near the water, you don't need it. And
everything, it's
that's a
always
joke.
72 degrees. And so these houses are neither insulated nor cooled.
Yeah, so it's hell. But here we are.
Yeah, we're all here together. And you know where it's nice and breezy and really by the sea? On a sailing yacht.
I mean, well, one, I'm sorry to hear about Texas. I hope you guys are able to cool off out there ASAP. Oh, I hate Texas. I mean, I don't hate Texas. I hate like the government that runs Texas, who's so useless.
We also hate California.
Yeah.
For the same reasons. We'll talk about some California government intrigue today when we talk about The Housewife and the Hustler, the documentary about Erika Jayne and her husband Tom Girardi that I made on a watch.
Yes, you did make me watch it. I will say there's 15 minutes left that I haven't finished because I started late. But I will finish it. But I think I got the gist as of now, which is, I mean, sounds like Tom was funding Erika's weird, non-existent pop star career.
Yeah, for reasons that a rich person might do. But first, are you drinking anything tonight?
Yes. I mean, I'm mostly just drinking juice.
Yes.
It's peach tea with some raspberry juice.
I went in a similar direction. I'm drinking that Trader Joe's thing I've been drinking every week, the black peach iced tea, sparkler, sponsor us. But I put some blueberries in it today.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, and so the blueberries are kind of like little bobas almost.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, I feel like you'd either be into it or find it weird, but I'm into it.
Look, if you're into it, I'm into it. Period.
If you like it, I love it.
Period. Well, should we talk about the finale of Below Deck Sailing season 2?
Yeah, let's do it. End of the season.
Okay. Gary and Allie are back together. Okay.
First.
Yes. It starts with them being back together and being like, we talked about it. Everything's great. But then later, little old Daisy comes through and is like, Colin told me that Gary was going to fuck Sydney to spite you, which once again upsets Allie.
Allie gets this news while she's drunk, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like a domino effect. She flips out, and then Colin is mad that Daisy betrayed his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Gary's mad that Colin betrayed his confidence to Daisy.
And Colin is mad that Colin betrayed his own confidence to his bro.
Colin is also mad right now in the present moment because he got coronavirus.
Yes. Please get vaccinated so you don't catch coronavirus. Or if you do, it's not, as bad because you're vaccinated.
Colin did a post basically coming out as an anti-vaxxer and then also saying like I was wrong.
Yeah, he was like, I was skeptical about the vaccine, but now after this,
He was like, I got coronavirus, and like turns out it's no joke and you don't want it. Just go get vaxxed. Don't be like me, Colin. Still the smartest and most sensible person on the show, probably.
I'm gonna give Colin one fart.
Correct.
Because get vaccinated. And Katie Mosley pointed out that the vaccine may not be as accessible in Panama, wherever he is. But Panama is a U.S. region, is that correct?
I think if this man wanted the vaccine.
Oh, wait, no, he's not from the U.S. He's Australian. I don't know. Interesting. But it does sound like he wasn't seeking it out necessarily, so...
I would just assume they would fast track yachties because they got to go all over the place.
Yeah, does Bravo not have the hookup? Like, what's that about?
Well, I think maybe the season ended before people were getting vaccinated. This was recent. This was like just now. He was like, well, I wasn't sure. And now I know I was wrong. Too late.
Yeah, I don't like that. Well, I hope he gets vaccinated and I hope he gets better soon. And yeah, just hey guys, we're not anti-vaxxers. We believe in vaccines here.
That's right.
Molly and I, we've been shot up, okay?
We're pro-vaxxers, and it's actually really cool to be able to have magnetic stuff just like stick to your body. I find it very useful, and that's what I wanted. So
yeah,
thanks, Dean.
And personally, I believe that we as humans, after having destroyed this entire planet, have no right to complain about what's being put in our bodies anymore.
Thank you.
I don't think it matters. It's irrelevant.
Once again, with the putting stuff in your bodies, though, I feel like a lot of the people I see objecting to the vaccine are shot up full of botulism toxin, and it makes no sense to me. Like, you're afraid to put the good poison in your body, but you're not afraid to put this bad poison in your body. Very selective.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Producers Act says better 5G for show. It's true. We all get amazing 5G now because we got vaccinated.
That's true.
Get incredible reception.
If you're near me, your phone works better, and you're welcome.
You are welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Off Moon 24 says my favorite part of the episode is Allie's very last dispatch from the crossing, which is like, Gary kind of sucks. I need space.
Yeah, let's get into that. So, right, at the dinner, Daisy tells Allie that Gary, sucks. And then, but like they all get drunk and Gary's all bummed, but Allie still like entertains him by making him come hang out with them when he's like bumming out in the cabin.
He's wearing these like swim trunks or boxers that have little hamburgers all over them. It's really funny.
Yeah, so she gets him to come out and hang out with them. They're making out in the hot tub. By the next day, when everyone else is leaving, Allie's also staying on to do the crossing. There's some like shit that goes down because Sydney and Gary almost room together, but then Allie like loses her mind. So
she's like, I can't believe they would do this again after all we've been through.
Yeah, and Sydney does her thing like, it's no big deal. And it's like, why are you like this?
That's how she is.
It's so annoying.
Like, we'll just room together. Nothing weird will happen.
Yeah, except you have a history of climbing into his bed while he's passed out. So no,
Right? She's like,
Sydney.
trust me. Trust me, even though everything about me is like single white female.
Yeah. And then it literally ends on Allie on like a video dispatch. Uh, like it's actually really funny. I like Off Moon 24 said, Allie just being like, it feels like I'm taking care of a little kid. I really just need some space. I need a moment. That's what she said. She's like, I need a moment.
She could suddenly see Gary with like the eyes that a viewer sees him with. Of like,
Right.
what? Huh?
Yeah.
I was losing my shit for this? I'm hot. I'm a bogan. I deserve better than Gary. That's me being Allie, obviously. I'm not a hot bogan. I have
No.
dreams.
No. Uh, I mean, I'm glad she's finally figuring it out because I mean, I think okay, well, also I want to touch on the fact that in the coming ups, they give us a little like reunion little tidbit. We learn that Gary had a girlfriend when he came on the boat. A long-term girlfriend.
Least surprising shocker of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with Allie, just like the sea madness wore off at the end.
I think so. I think so. Also probably rooming with him and then you don't have your girls like Dani and Daisy to like hang out with.
Nikki Beck says, "Don't they all have land lasses?" Ooh,
That's
I like
interesting.
that terminology. I mean, probably a lot of people in this industry have someone at land and maybe someone in every port.
Oh,
Isn't that the whole
Lord.
reason you become a yachty? It's like being a professional athlete. You just get to like go around the world having sex with people.
I mean, yeah, right?
Like
Yeah.
that's why you do it.
Yeah, like Off Moon 24 says Glenn being all coy about the woman he has a photo of. Exactly. What was
It's
that about?
it's kind of the perfect crime because you get to like have a romantic yacht based, romance with someone and then be like, gotta go.
Yeah, my friend who now lives in Europe, she doesn't live in Spain, but she had in past tense a Spanish lover that she would meet up with every once in a while. And that's like what it's like. It's like you see them once every few months and then you get like a passionate night of love making. And then you're like
My
you're like, see you later, bye. Like my Instagrams.
McConnor Talk says, really funny to think of Glenn having a girl in every area code.
I mean, Glenn is little. He is a lady killer.
That's right. Glenn is a Canadian ladies man. He's Canadian, right?
Yeah, from Montreal. Did someone tell us that?
Mhm. I think we found that out last week. He loved the ladies.
Um, McConnor Talk thinks we're gonna get this stream banned for joking about the old Vex.
Oh, I can't say.
Whoopsie poopsie. Also, McConnor Talk says, why did they act like Sydney Gary bunking situation was a permanent decision that couldn't be changed? I don't know. It was so weird because Natasha was like, you'll move in with me. And then Glenn's like, well, two more people on the crew are coming and they all want to room together. And it's like, why? They have to room together?
Tom Cares Too Much says the post show diaries were like seeing the 4 days after the end of The Graduate. The infatuation ages poorly. Totally agree. And I do think that even though Sydney was still there, yeah, like some part of it for Allie, even if she doesn't admit it to herself, it was about like crushing Sydney, being like, I'm better than her, you know?
Yeah. That was
And
like,
I think when she won, she was like, okay, game over. Like, I don't actually want this prize. It's not worth that much.
it didn't really make sense to me because I mean, I agree. I think like it was of like I'm the one Gary wants, and then it kind of turned into wait, Gary sucks.
It was like as though they had spent time apart and come back together. It's like, when you see theoretically, if you saw someone you had made out with like at camp or something where you like
Hmm.
remembered them being cuter than they are, and then you see them again in like regular life and you're like, oh, actually, like that was a camp thing, maybe. Like I think
Yeah.
that's how Allie finally just like the goggles came off and she was like, okay, I can do better than Gary. He was my best
And
option out of a boat with like three men on it
and
and Captain Glenn.
she's 100% right.
She's 100% right. She should be with another hot bogan, not a weird South African who will put his dick in anything. And that's his like core personality trait.
Yeah. Yeah, and Off Moon 24 um point out the wide angle lens dick joke that Glenn made. I thought was very interesting because he was like, oh, I could take a pic. You got a wide angle lens at the dinner. Fascinating.
Oh, Glenn.
Glenny
Uh,
Glenn.
McConnor Talk says The Crossing should have been a Peacock exclusive miniseries. It was like I wasn't expecting it when they were just, oh, the charter's over, but now there's like this extra week where it just clearly shows how much the dynamic changes depending on who's there.
Yeah, definitely. And it looked like Natasha and Allie were having fun, but I don't know. Gary, I thought he was being it now that he had a girl like back home, like all of this like so shady.
He's so shady. He's a con artist,
He
but
is.
his con is just tricking women into thinking he's more attractive than he is by getting a bunch of them involved so that then he can play them against each other.
God, I'm curious what comes. So the reunion next week is 2 days. It's Monday and Tuesday.
Very exciting, a real reunion.
There's also apparently a like a half hour Captain Sandy special where it's like Captain Sandy's wildest antics or whatever.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah. No, thank you, Satan. Okay, let's talk about yeah. So Ali Gary, no more due to Gary's not great behavior. But I do want to talk about uh what the guests. I was trying to say like what are they called? The guests who came on the boat who were the crew of the boat right next door.
That was so funny because the Parsifal crew was dreading it. They're like, this is so embarrassing to like serve people that also do our job.
Yeah.
They're going to humiliate us.
Yeah.
And then it was like they were chill because they also do this job. So they were like, we don't get like a kick out of like seeing people squirm or whatever.
No, they were absolutely wonderful.
They were wonderful. And they were also funny because they were totally like bizarro Parsifal crew.
Yeah.
Like they came on board and it was like, oh, there's Gary and there Colin and there Daisy. Just like it was like, oh, we could have just been watching a show about this crew instead this whole season.
Yeah.
Think of all the other crew drama going on all of these yachts.
I kind of liked it because they like really like harped on the whole like, oh no, they're gonna be judging us, and it got to a point where I was like, this is annoying. I'm over it. I don't care.
Yeah, also like they're gonna be judging you more than like super rich people who are finicky about everything. Like,
right?
No, they're like if you got to stay on a yacht, you would just be chill. You wouldn't make extra work for the deck crew because you are the deck crew.
Mm-hmm. I thought they were absolutely lovely. They were so friendly.
So lovely.
They wanted to hang out with them and just like drink. And
yeah,
there was one guy I think he was the chef, the one who kept being like, what did he keep singing? Like, where's my Gucci's? Where's
Yes,
my
so
Gucci's?
Zoe McPhee said he was the Wish version of Ben.
Yeah. Gucci, Gucci, where's my Gucci? I was like, what is this song? Is this a song? I don't know.
Tom cares too much, calls them Wari and Wa Colin.
Yeah. There was the one main guy was actually pretty hot. I don't remember his name or anything,
He
but he
was the
was
Colin, I assumed.
yeah, he
He
was
was like a tall guy even. Um, it would be funny too if like their Sydney was good. Like
yeah.
Parsifal got the evil Sydney, so they get just like the Sydney who's really nice.
Yeah. Well, I will say they were all just sweet, kind folk, and Captain Glenn let them take one shot with them.
That's right. He let them. I wouldn't say they were breaking maritime law because they were about to be off duty.
Oh yeah, Zoe McPhee said the sous chef was not Rachel. There was
Yeah,
a sous. So they got two chefs, like a chef and then a helper chef, the sous chef.
I guess
I guess
sometimes
motor
there's
yacht.
someone who like works as the sous chef.
Right, but it seemed like that was her title. Like that boat was so big and so fancy that they got two chefs. It's a big
I
boat, baby.
mean, yeah, big boat, and you cannot lie.
Oh
McConnor Talk
God.
says, I feel like anyone who works in customer service knows better than to be a judgy bitch when interacting with other customer service people. I agree, but there's got to be exceptions to the rule. There's got to be like one guy that's like, I'm going to be a dick on. I wish I was the customer all the time.
Yeah.
I do think most people, though, who work in service know what it's like to work in service. And yeah, again, just like it, the rich people are way more dicks to the service people because they don't see them as people. People who work in
Right.
service know that service workers are humans. Um,
Wait, Offman 24 says it's the boat they're using for med. Is it really?
you could tell us anything. Zoe McPhee says, I mean, Colin was kind of a sous chef too. Was he? I mean, I feel like the chef always gets help with prep from somebody.
Okay, I'm like
Fair.
shocked. Sorry. I know I just yawned. I apologize. I just like zoned out thinking about what you said. So does that mean there's two chefs on this upcoming med season, or are they keeping it one chef? I need to look this up.
Only one way to find out.
Sorry, I yawned. I started to like really zone out, and that
It's like
made
a
me yawn.
thousand degrees. Don't apologize ever for yawning. I might fall asleep while we're talking. So
Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, okay. Well, they were a great crew. They were lovely. Where's my Gucci? Where's my Gucci Gucci? Where's my Gucci Gucci? He was wearing a hat that said "Let's make America Corona free again" or something like that.
yeah, it was
Uh
weird. Anytime someone's wearing a fake MAGA hat, it's like too much trouble.
yeah.
Nellie McPhee says they think it's one chef, the bald white guy. All
Okay.
right. I
Well,
guess
that's too
find
bad.
out soon.
The guests also loved Natasha's cooking. I mean, just truly.
Dream guests. And then they tip super well for one day.
Yes, so they and well, it's the company that tipped, not these fucks, because
Well,
they're
yeah,
not gonna
but
give their money up.
still, doesn't matter.
They ended up with a $7,500 tip, which was like $800 a
Good.
piece. But I will say, total for the whole season, they ended up with 100,006,450 total. I gotta keep doing that. With 11,830 per person. That's a little on the low end of what we've seen in past seasons, but they seemed
Well,
happy with it.
I mean, it was coronavirus.
That's true.
They're probably just happy that they made money at all.
Yeah.
You think yachties can get unemployment?
Hmm.
Are yachties freelancers?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
I'd like to know. If you work in the yachting industry,
You have to be freelance, right?
you have to I guess, right? Like unless you're officially on the crew of one yacht all the time.
My contact says, have we ever got numbers on what these people get just for being on the show? I
Is
don't
there?
think they're paid a lot by Bravo based on research we've done in the past.
I would love to know if they have health insurance from either being on below deck or from working as a yachty, or is being a yachty all just like
Well,
independent contractor jobs, like everything.
there's probably unions, but by
The
this point
yachty
you would
union.
think, yeah, or like just like crew member unions. But like I think they get like 30 to 40K as like a salary from the actual like company that owns the boat, who's like hiring them to work. Something like
And then they
that.
get tips on top of that.
Yeah, and then you get your tips. I don't know what I don't think Bravo pays very well to have them on the show.
McConnor Talk says there must be some kind of financial incentive to being on the show. I mean, I think the financial incentive is like exposure for your brand, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can sell swag or whatever if you're like a popular enough person on the show. Like, I think Hannah Ferrier, it like allowed her to start the yachting school, but also to like transition out of yachting and be like, my brand is yachting.
Yeah, I think it's all about like building your Instagram following.
Yeah, because that's how you're going to make real money in the yachting industry, I imagine.
Yeah.
Even being a captain, how much can it pay? Off
Oh.
Moon 24 said I saw something that was like it's usually people at the beginning of their careers trying to break in or people at the end trying to get out.
Yeah.
Totally. Captains
Yeah.
get big bucks. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, there
think
are
like
captains.
lower end gets like 30K. I think we read somewhere like someone who was doing like what Kate Chastain was doing would get like 70K for being a chief stew, something like that. I think it ranges depending on who you're working for. Um I mean you guys can feel free to look it up, but I'm too lazy.
So we should become chief stews for real, is what you're saying. And then
Oh wait,
become
yeah.
captains.
Um yes. Yeah, they work. I mean, this is basically a public service to rich people. No, it's not public at all.
You gotta go to sea.
Oh,
And somebody's gotta fold the napkins to make them feel like it's a restaurant on the ocean.
yeah.
Spare no expense except paying the deckhands.
Spare no expense. Spare no expense. Pay nobody.
Hey, no, I watched this really funny. I watched something about like a Universal Islands of Adventure Jurassic Park ride that closed down, but there was like a whole thing with a fake Richard Attenborough. And my boyfriend was like, they spared some expense because it was just a guy with like a fake beard being like, oh, yes, welcome to Jurassic Park.
They spared some expense. Like, that's not.
Jack on Cable TV says, I tried to look into the cost of 3 nights on the yacht and I couldn't quite nail it down.
I mean, I
Mike,
think it's like 100K or something. I
yeah.
think.
If anyone's ever been on a yacht, rented a yacht, knows someone who's rented a yacht, has thoughts about yachts, we'd love to know how much it costs to rent a yacht. And then if someone wants to give us that amount of money to rent a yacht, just, for experiment, just as a research for this show, we won't say no. If you've got a boat,
Got a boat, share a boat.
share a boat, be a boat.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a discount. I've read many times that the people who come on this show get a discount. Oh,
Cool.
Jackson Cable TV, you're on Spectrum? That's the
Mm,
worst.
I'm on Spectrum. It
Me too. It's
sucks.
terrible. Our internet went out earlier today for no reason because that's Spectrum, baby.
That's Spectrum, baby. And sometimes when it's really hot, it just goes out
Yeah.
because of the rolling blackouts.
Should we talk about? Oh wait, McContact says the first result on Google says the Parsifal 3 goes for 195K euro a week. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's so much money.
How much is 3 days that people do?
Are you drinking a 5-hour energy drink?
Yeah, I'm just sipping on it really quickly because
It's really funny. I thought it was Pride branded, but it's just kind of rainbowy always.
It's a bit much. I'm just having a few sips.
Did
To
that
wake
yawn
up.
really catch you off guard? You were like, stay alert.
Yeah, I'm only drinking 2 hours worth.
2 out of 5.
Yeah, I split it up. Sometimes I don't want to be awake for 5 hours.
No, you want me awake for 2 hours.
Yeah, and we have one around, so you know what? I sipped on it.
I have a cold brew coffee in the fridge. It could
Oh, hell
happen.
yeah.
Offmoon 24 says you can rent a small yacht for a few grand a week, but you're not getting waited on.
Well, that's bullshit. I won't do
Yeah,
it.
come on, what's the point if you're not?
Then I won't do it. Who's cooking for me? Nobody.
Have you been on a cruise? Did we talk about this already?
I've never been on a cruise because we were supposed to go when we were younger, but we had recently seen Titanic and we begged our dad not to take us.
That's
So,
so funny and cute. I mean, there are lots of good reasons not to go on a cruise. That if you were a kid and saw Titanic and you were about to go on a cruise, yeah, you just have nightmares the
yeah, it's like
whole time.
it's like after when we were kids, I walked in on my dad watching the Pelican Brief, and it was that scene where the car explodes and Julia Roberts spoiler alert, but it's Pelican Brief, so if you haven't fucking seen it by now, that's not my problem. Well, I won't even say what, but a car basically explodes in the movie at some point, and I saw that part. I came in, I saw that part. I was like, I'm never getting in a car again.
Nope.
And it ruined our family for like a few weeks because my mom was pissed at my dad for letting us see it. He's like, I couldn't, they just walked in. My brother I have a brief memory of my brother crying bloody murder and being dragged into a car because of
Aw.
that fucking, my mom being like, do you see what you've done? You've ruined the kids.
Aw.
And honestly amazing that I get in a car today ever.
Yeah, I think it's the Pelican Brief's fault, not your dad's.
No, I mean, yes, it's totally the Pelican Brief's fault, but my dad
I
shouldn't
was
have been
scared of
casually watching it.
yeah, I was scared of elevators for a while because there's so many movies where like an elevator gets stuck. Maybe Speed. I think I saw Speed. Freaked me out.
Oh, yeah. My grandma, every time she'd visit from Iran, she didn't like escalators because she'd never really dealt with them, so she didn't like getting on them, and it was always kind of an interesting experience.
That's
Like at a
funny.
mall of her like being like, "Okay, I'm stepping on," and us on the side of her like, "It's okay."
The robot staircase.
Yeah.
But fears aren't rational.
Yeah. Look, she was from Iran, She didn't really ride on escalators in Iran until recently, I guess.
They there's that joke in Mallrats a lot about how you can get like sucked into the escalator.
Well, dogs can. So you should probably, if you go on an escalator, pick your dog up because their paws can get stuck because they're not human and you don't understand.
Oh, they don't know about
Yeah,
escalators.
you got to be careful with little puppies and your little paws.
Oh my God. Anna sent me just a bunch of pictures yesterday of cats wearing little sandals and flip-flops.
There is an Instagram of someone like
Oh my
made
God.
knit like at home sandals, slippers, if you will, and then like little flip flops for cats and then put them on all their paws.
So cute.
I will post on the Deckheads Instagram right now so you guys can get the full experience because
They're
it's so cute.
so cute.
It's
Some of them,
unbelievable.
some of them are little flip-flops, so they have a little thong going through a couple of the little paws. It's fucking adorable.
All right, I'm posting it right now. This is what we are talking about right now.
Right, we are live, baby, and we're talking about kitty paws with little sandals on them.
Okay,
So
go
McPhee
there.
says, if you think of it this way, you are renting a yacht and like 8 people, so that dang well should cost a lot. Oh, for sure.
Posted.
You told me it costs $1 million. I'd be like, oh yeah, sure.
I mean, if I had enough friends who were like doing well enough that I could be like, come on, man, just like let's just rent a yacht together. Like, what's the big deal? Like, Come on, dude. Like, let's go get on a yacht. I
Yeah,
fucking
man, if
would.
we all go in for a few thou, get a yacht.
But do we have like friends who like have a few thou to a few thou? Look at
No,
me.
no, because we're podcasters.
No.
We're not the Joe Rogan kind yet.
Yeah,
Yet.
just I mean, we were talking about vaccines earlier. Um,
True, it's true, it's true. Our ratings are through the roof because we're saying controversial, scientifically inaccurate things.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we're dum dums. So, okay, let's talk about the last night out. They go to dinner. The shit goes down with Allie and Gary. Um, I mean, not much happens other than the Colin telling or Daisy telling Allie what Colin said. But then later that night, Colin actually gets in the hot tub,
He does. He
but
breaks
with
it down.
all his clothes on.
He does. Keep all his clothes on.
It was pretty strange to me that he just did it. He was first he was sitting in the hot tub with just his feet, like, or I mean, I guess his legs in.
Because he wanted to get in so bad the whole time, and he was like holding back. And then it was like, it's the last night.
Yeah.
Just get in the hot tub. You're not going to touch anyone's boobs unless you want to, and they want you to. And you don't want to, so you're not going to.
Sure, but he had his jeans on.
He wore his jeans into the
Yes,
jacuzzi.
the hot tub. He was wearing his jeans.
That's so funny.
He was
have you considered this? Have you considered this?
Yeah.
It's Aquaman.
I mean, sure, I believe that, but he was literally just sitting casually, like when people like roll up their pants or are wearing shorts with their feet in the water.
So funny.
But he had his jeans on, and he didn't even bother rolling his jeans up. He was just hanging out with them, like in the water.
Whatever. It's the last night.
And well, that's the thing. Everyone's like, "Don't worry, we're all covered up. Don't worry about it, Colin. Just get in." And then he throws his whole body, fully clothed, in the bubble hot tub that they put soap in.
That's
and then Sydney takes her top and bottom off.
Yeah, of course. Well, Aquaman swims in jeans. The Jason Momoa Aquaman swims in jeans for some reason. So I feel like maybe Colin's just an Aquaman and he can't take his jeans off. That's like his mermaid tail is his jeans.
Yeah.
The foam party, I thought that was really funny because I was like, they're gonna have to clean it up.
Yeah, the way they like left a mess was like tough for me because I was like, come on, the people who
I thought it was funny because I was like, they're the ones who have to clean it up, so they're just kind of fucking over themselves. So it's fine.
Only the people who are doing the crossing have to clean it up. Everyone else is just gonna leave and catch their flights and go.
Well, then it's Gary and Sydney, and they love that kind. And Gary was the one who did it.
Everyone's pointing out the Natasha self-aware speech at dinner. I agree. What a turn. She's like, I just realized I'm a bitch. And that was like not cool.
Oh, I love her. I loved when she got in the big jacuzzi too, right? Finally.
Yeah, and then Allie licked her ass, remember?
And then she was like, I gotta
go. Yeah, she's like, not today.
But she was like, I think she and Colin have the same thing, which is like they're afraid that they'll then, like, the moment they step into the hot tub, they'll abandon all sense.
No, I mean, they're just like, I don't want to hang out with Gazer and this fucking Bogan and then Sydney, who's like, they're all just like, they know these people are out of control and will do crazy shit. So they're like, I'm not being on camera with you while you like hump my butt.
Yeah. But it was also, I was like, that's a big step for Natasha that she's like comfortable letting someone lick her butt. Because she does seem like she just wants to have fun, but she like won't let herself because she's trying to be professional.
Yeah. Zoe McPhee says
because she said she's been celibate for a while, so it's probably just like she's shut that part of her brain off, and if something reminds her that she does want to have sex, then she has to think about it.
That's true. And you know what? It's not worth it, Natasha.
Not with that crew.
No.
Wait until you're back home or working at another restaurant or something. You don't want to have sex. She knows she doesn't want to hook up with anyone on the boat.
Yeah. She doesn't want to get distracted with her craft.
She's great.
But
We love her. We love Natasha.
Zoe McPhee says, yeah, Glenn and Natasha got the waterworks going. You know how Sandy says she cares and they're family, but Glenn really lives that issue, right? Glenn is family. Sandy is just waiting to either fire you or try and falsely accuse you. I guess accuse
Of
is a
breaking
weird word.
maritime law.
Of breaking maritime law or try and out you in a cameo video. She's just not it. Sandy isn't it. We were tricked by the Sandy industrial complex for too long. No more.
Nope.
I have woken up to what is going on with Captain Sandy. I won't have it anymore. Ta-ta.
She's not a good captain.
And she's an asshole of a person.
That's right. And I'm sure it's motivated by something that we don't know about. Nobody's just an asshole, I think. I'm sure she's like got trauma or something.
I'm sure
Maybe
she does.
we'll
She's
find out about it at some point.
Recovering
But
alcoholic. I'm sure she does. She has experienced something that has caused her to drink, caused her to get sober. I mean, good for her for getting sober, but maybe don't channel that into being an asshole.
Nikki Beck said Sandy's a bootstraps meathead. I very much get that vibe from her.
She's a Trumper.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't actually know.
I think?
Yeah. Just the way she spoke about the Palace of Versailles, like Queen of Versailles family, like when they first originally came on that med season, and she's like, they do a lot of charitable work. And I'm like, all right,
Nikki Beck says she is, so is Lee. Well, guess what? Glenn can't be a Trumper because he's Canadian. I mean, he could be like into Trump still, but he can't have voted for him because he's Canadian.
Lee as well. That makes all the sense in the world. But he's like, I'm still getting vaccinated because I need to get back to work.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, again, people who are sea captains, you're running away from something.
Yeah.
Rules, except for other people that are underneath you. Well, because that's like what we were talking about. If you worked in the service industry, you would be nice to service workers. But like, didn't some of the captains work as deck crew?
Oh, yeah. You have to work your way up.
Right. So like, they're fucking still dicks to the deck crew. I'm sure there's a certain amount of like, once you get that high up, they're like, fuck everyone else except for me, the captain.
Wait, Zoe McPhee says her nonchalant attitude about homophobia.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Mila, right? Mila's homophobia, right? Is that what you're referencing? I can't recall. Did she even hear about that? I don't even remember. I just remember Travis. That guy Travis was very upset by it, and Mila was just an idiot. Weird Siberian rando who couldn't really cook.
No.
No.
She couldn't cook.
She's like, here's my nachos. They're the most disturbing thing you'll ever see.
Well, you know what? It's like sometimes representation means like representing people who are bad at stuff, you know? Like it's cool when you have a woman chef and like representing the full breadth of human experience is like sometimes women chefs are bad too. Like most dude chefs are bad, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like the women chefs get held to a much higher standard and the minority chefs than like Ben who can do fucking whatever.
Well, let's slow down calling Mila a chef, okay?
No, for sure. But wasn't her whole thing where she was like, I am a woman in the kitchen?
Oh, so McPhee says, yeah, she spoke about it and was like, I don't care. Shout out Little Hickory. Thanks for following us. Thanks for joining the clan. Wow, I call this a clan. Whoops,
clan.
That's not what we are.
Call it the Chief Stew.
We're the Chiefs. We're the deck crew. That's what I gotta call us. But, yeah, like she spoke about. Sorry, Zoe McPhee said she spoke about it. Was like, I don't care if she can do her job. Jesus, if she can do her job, it's cool that she says like wildly homophobic shit. You know what? Fuck Mila. I read online one time someone was like, can I get a picture? And she like yelled at them.
He's like, no.
It's like, hey man, what did you think was gonna happen? You were gonna get away with like making tacos with like taco shells you bought out of a box?
Well, Nikki Beck says that Adam even has been rehired. It's like, I
Adam was a
do,
monster.
right. Like he sucks and he gets to keep being a chef and just kind of suck because he looks like what a chef, people think a yacht chef looks like.
Well, anyway, that was the last day. They seem like they had fun.
Woo!
Um,
Great
okay.
season.
The last day, uh, Natasha says Dani is the most amazing person she's ever met and that she'll miss her.
Their friendship is unlike anything she's ever experienced in her life.
Yeah, and then Dani and Gerald leave together and they're like, we're just gonna see where this goes, which is like dot
Oh
dot
my
dot.
god.
She got
That
a
was so
baby.
sad
He's
because they didn't
MIA.
they didn't at all like edit it to be like dun dun dun. It was just like they're in love and now they're going to Bali together and everything's gonna be great. Like bye.
Yeah. And I will say during the after show, they asked Glenn if he thinks they asked Glenn and Daisy if they think it's JL's baby, and Daisy won't answer, and Glenn's like, well, like, I think so.
Oh man.
And it's
Yeah, so
like, oh, you didn't get the memo? We're not talking about this,
it
Glenn.
seems like it's JL's baby and it's not some weird reality show editing to like trick us into thinking it's JL's baby, but it's not really.
Okay, guys, here's what we're gonna do. Everyone slide into Glenn's DMs. He seems like an easy mark. Just be like, Glenn, do you
fireworks, sorry.
did it happen right next to you?
Oh, it's just outside my window, so
Wow. That's scary. LA baby. Yeah,
LA
everyone
baby.
slide into Glenn's DMs and ask him if he knows for sure if the baby is JL's, because it feels like we can catch Glenn off guard and he'll be like, I think so. Like Andy Cohen did. And then screenshot it and send it to us. Thank you. Molly just got attacked by a firework. That's so wild. Offmoon24 says, if they went on a road trip, it really seems like the timing is pretty clear. Oh, I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry at this point that it's his baby. Like, I just need someone to get them back together so she doesn't have to, like, do this all alone. I just need someone to tell JL's mom, like, back off. This is your son's kid, and do you want your son to,
It's
like,
for sure
be that asshole and doesn't help raise his own kid? Like, that kid should have a father, and Dani should have help with her child.
And it just like it must have been such a crazy 180 from like what their relationship seemed like at the end of the show to the breakup. Not good.
I am curious if JL, because I'm curious if JL has reached out and Dani has actually rejected him for any reason.
I wonder. I feel like we will find out more now that the season is over.
Ugh. Zoe McPhee says, oh, and Sandy loves the misogynist Joao. Joao. I need BD, so I'll watch Med, but I low-key. Yeah, look, you know what? We're all gonna hate watch Sandy because she's an asshole.
She is an asshole.
Period.
She's a real me first person.
Oh, and Zoe McPhee said, Andy said something along the lines of, she walked away with more than a proposal this season, referring to Dani getting pregnant by JL after that romantic date. I mean,
well,
it's fucked. I feel bad for everybody involved who got sucked into the Bravo sphere and spit back out. Honestly, Bravo should raise that baby.
Well, I hope Bravo paid for the delivery fee. That's to bring it back to my questions about the health insurance. Someone said earlier in the chat that they all go to the doctor a lot on the show, which is true. Like whenever something goes wrong, they rush them to a doctor. But I always also thought that could just be because they're in Europe a lot. You can just go somewhere and get healthcare for free.
Oh, right. That's a good point.
Yeah. Off Moon 24 says the reunion teaser seems like they really get into it.
I fucking hope so. I
Exciting.
fucking hope so, because this sucks.
It does suck. Zoe McPhee says from Peta Party, they make it clear that Dani is hustling to take care of her baby and hasn't been offered any assistance. Not cool, Brule.
It sucks that, I mean, obviously I don't understand how like cross country alimony works.
Off Moon 24 says also that JL was unavailable for it and then they tracked him down. What does that mean?
That means he's being a fucking little bitch.
Yeah, he's being a deadbeat.
Yeah, he's being a deadbeat dad who doesn't want to get questioned by Andy Cohen about why he's like left Dani out to dry, and also like he probably doesn't want to face her.
He's posting the most innocuous shit on Instagram right now too. It's all like, here's me with a big fish I caught.
I need to go look.
Here's the crew getting along. It's like, that's weirder than if you didn't post at all. Is to just keep posting through it, not acknowledge that you had a baby, even to say like, hey, I'm not involved, but like, best of luck to her.
What is jail?
It's like Jean-Luc de Sauveur.
Jean-Luc de There we go. Serva Lenu. God, you're such an asshole, dude. Let's see what his stories are. Oh, I just posted a photo that I already have on my story.
Check it out.
I'm really tall.
I'm very tall. Can you believe how tall I am? Hey, look at this fish. It's also tall like me.
I had a baby, but I left her.
I had a baby, but I'm a deadbeat dad, but I'm gonna keep posting about fishing trips and shit.
I hate this. Just looking at his Instagram just makes me mad.
There's like sports happening right now. Zach will know.
Zach, are there sports happening right now? Are there sports happening right now? Sports. Basketball is on. Was because she's getting some fireworks.
Fireworks, cheering.
Huh? Nobody from LA though. That's what he says.
Huh?
Do we believe him?
Netflix was really good, but it ended. What about Dodgers? Are the Dodgers playing?
Oh, first time chat from viewer and but so like. And but so like. Oh, I get it. Nets Bucks was really good, but it ended. Okay, now do we have a bunch of Nets and / Bucks fans in the LA region? Because they are popping off. I will say though that it's what was I gonna say? I was gonna it's LA, so fireworks are always happening. Okay, McConnor Talk says
wait. Is there a Dodger game like right now?
I don't know.
I think there's a Dodger game right now. I think that was I think they were cheering something happening in the Dodger game.
The
Dodgers were beating the Phillies 3-1 at the end of the fourth.
The Doya game. Dodger game. Okay, McConnor Talk says, what if it turns out the JL Dani thing is just a classic Bravo cliffhanger that doesn't actually pan out? I will kill everybody. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. We will come to Andy Cohen's house and allegedly get some answers.
Yeah. Allegedly, I wouldn't actually kill anyone.
Like a king of comedy, just like, hey, we're just here to talk.
Because that's too wild. Your show. That is too wild. Because like, also they like that. They're so cruel because they're just leaving Dani out there to like, one, be aggressively speculated about, and then like JL's probably getting some hate mail in his comments. That can't be good. It's not good for anybody. Don't do that.
And they're like, bye.
Well, Zoe McPhee says, I know, exactly. They're like, and moving on next. All right. Who's hooking up here? Who's having a baby? All right, next.
I feel like Below Deck is kind of like The Bachelor in that it's very upfront about the way in which reality TV is like, we're just grinding you out and like, here's your chance and that's it. Shoot your shot.
God. Zoe McPhee says, you know it's bad when Jack, all caps, can step up to be a good dad, and this guy's just AWOL. I know. Remember Jack from Liverpool? He may have cheated on Aisha, but don't worry. Because he's still back with his girlfriend, and they have a baby.
Love his accent.
He's from Liverpool, like the Beatles.
Like the Beatles.
Yes, he is. He's got a baby now.
He's got a baby.
Yeah.
Connor Talk says, that said, I am very much a JL is the dad truther.
Which means
You're
you
correct.
live in real life. You're not a conspiracy theorist, my friend.
That's right. That's right.
The person who's a conspiracy theorist at this point is JL's mom.
Right. She's like, JL sperm leaked out of a lab and flew into Dani's vagina.
I mean,
and he had no part in it.
Based on the comments she left on Dani's Instagram, it sounds like she thinks Dani tied up, like Bridgerton situation, tricked JL, stole his sperm, and then like ran off to have a baby.
Ugh.
And like didn't tell him, or whatever she's implying in her comments. Like, that's
and
not cool.
Connor Talk says, we'll know for sure if the baby comes out 4 feet tall.
Well, we already know the baby's big, right? Do we? No, I don't know. I guess not. She hasn't really posted the baby.
We just know. We just know it's going to be big.
Well, that's the thing. We think. Wait, has Dani posted the baby? Do we know for a fact?
Yeah, didn't she post a picture of it being like, welcome to the world? Like, I'm so excited to meet you. It's just me and you, little baby.
Right.
Or was that her pregnant stomach?
Let me introduce you to baby Suarez. It doesn't look like, we don't see a height or a weight, because you know people trying to find a weight. Yeah, we got one picture of the baby, but it doesn't look huge.
Doesn't look especially long.
For 1 week old, I don't know. She does kind of look like a big 1 week old. Or can someone confirm? I haven't been around a baby like that. The baby looks big. For 1 week? I'm speculating. Allegedly, does this baby look big to you for 1 week old? Sorry, I'm just holding a screen to a camera.
We're not body shaming the baby.
You guys can see this, right? It's very clear.
Demi says she looks pretty average, and she posted that she looks like her. And yes, she does look like her. Thank God.
No, the baby definitely looks like her. I'm sorry, that photo was so clear you guys couldn't handle it.
I mean, like, it sucks, but I'm sure Dani is still happy she had the baby because she really wanted to have a baby. And
that baby looks big though for 1 week.
Oh, that baby's cute. She was talking about doing it alone. I feel like, you know, so sure it would be better if JL would fucking step up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's like, you know, she had a baby.
She had a baby.
The question is like, when did JL step back? Was JL like, yeah, I'm with it? We don't know. We don't know. We'll find out what she says. God, at the reunion.
So gross. Okay, well, I hope she fucking pours out because I am ready. Let's drag this bitch. Okay?
Drag this tall alien.
I want her to be like, here's what happened. Here's why we're not together anymore. Here's the issue.
The facts.
And I will start a GoFundMe for that baby. Okay? Or whatever. I don't know. What do people do for babies? Because more than anything, Dani needs the support that she is not getting from Le GL. GL. Je m'appelle GL. Okay. Let's talk about, guys, that's it for Below Deck. Oh, one big thing though. We are taking next week off because the reunion is Monday and Tuesday, and we're going to take that time to regroup, watch the reunion. We will be back the week after that for the season premiere of Med, and we'll touch on the reunion there, and we'll talk about the first episode of Med. So sorry, but next week, Mommy and Mommy need a break.
We'll have to make do without us, but we will be back.
Week after.
Zoe McPhee says the second she said she was pregnant, he ran, just like he tried to blame her for his STD. That makes sense because the STD did seem like a dry run. He did immediately get into some weird slut shamey stuff about her. Seemed like a little bit of a Rojo flag.
But that's what annoys the shit out of me, because he's out here being like, come on, babe, let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
He's got issues with women, clearly. Like, clearly his mom is involved. But it just seems like he like hates women because he feels like they didn't have sex with him when he just gives off like incel vibes, which is ooh, more fireworks.
I
pop,
hear
pop,
him.
pop.
There you go.
Wish I could show you.
I know. Sorry. I will say, like, the whole comment about like still having high standards, even though he was like bigger.
Yeah, that was a gross ass. That was disgusting.
Like, fuck you. That's
Fuck
a red
you,
flag.
yeah. He was like, I only want to date hot chicks, and now that chicks that are hot want to date me, I don't respect them because they didn't want to date me before.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't deserve it either time because I'm just a big, tall idiot man.
See, those are incel comments.
Right?
And it's not okay.
And then he's like taking it out on Dani, being like,
bullshit.
Yeah. Just like some weird, like, women are sullied stuff.
Women. Nasty women.
How dare they?
That's his energy. He's got these women are nasty, nasty women energy.
I want to know what he told his mom happened. You know, she tricked me.
Jackson Cable TV says that leather jacket was a big I don't get out much sign. Facts. Thank you for acknowledging that. All right, guy. Okay. Hustler and what is it called?
I think it's called The Housewife and the Hustler.
Okay.
But I've been calling it The Hustler and the Housewife. It doesn't matter. Either way.
I will say.
Oh, yeah.
I have this.
You got this ready.
This is oh my God. This thing is so heavy. I could destroy something. Okay. Zach's going to kill me. This is the Sutton face roller that helps with her anxiety.
That she uses when she's crying while she's being racist.
Yeah. When she's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it helps with my anxiety when I have to deal with women of color. I'm moving. Real Housewives, Beverly Hills. Okay.
That was nuts. Because it was like, oh, it was bad. It was bad.
Now I bet you're thinking, why do you have this face roller?
Because you were like, ooh, that looks fun.
And I was like, that's fun. What is that?
Anna was like, what was that? What was Sutton doing to her face that whole time? What was that thing? It's like, oh, it's a face roller.
Yes.
Which I was saying is also like ironic because I feel like that comes from like Chinese medicine.
Oh, for sure.
Like gua sha and stuff like that, that she was like doing that while
like disregarding Crystal.
Telling an Asian American woman that it made her uncomfortable to think about other people being uncomfortable with racism.
Yeah.
That was also a great Erika Jayne. Oh, so many fireworks. That was a great Erika Jayne moment too, because Erika Jayne, they were like, well, don't you feel like people stereotype you for being Southern? She was like, no. What?
But anyway,
but it turns out Erika Jayne is the worst person in the world.
Right. So, well, real quick, I texted my mom. She had this thing. So I made her send it to me so I could use it for this bit. I do have to send it back, but we'll see when I do that.
Yeah. Does it feel good?
It's nice. I'm not 100% sure what it does, I need to read the box. My mom sent it to me in the box because she keeps
Well,
everything nice.
I
But
think it's just like face massage. It's the same idea as any other kind of massage. It's like it's pushing on your little lymph nodes and
I think it's
just
supposed to
feels
make you
good.
like be like plump and glow.
Right. I mean, it's good to, yeah, I think it's just like the same idea as massaging anything. It's like I don't at all understand how that works. I just know that I have a foam roller and it feels good for
Mm,
like my back. So I
this is
imagine that is
this
like a foam roller for your face.
it 100% is. Thank you so much. Am I gorgeous now?
You are gorgeous, but you know what? You always were.
All
But
right.
now you're more gorgeous than ever.
Thank you so much. I am a capitalist at heart. I buy. Okay. Okay,
You didn't buy
so
though, you borrowed from your mom.
sure. But she bought. And it's like
You can kind of see them. I don't know if it definitely won't come across on screen. Ugh.
wow.
Just now that I can
That's
kind of see the fireworks. I imagine the Dodgers are doing well. It is still like 89 degrees. Um,
where you are.
woo!
Where I am at, it is 88. Oh, surprising.
All right.
Okay, so Hustler and the Housewife, Housewife and the Hustler.
Yeah. ABC News documentary about Erika Jayne and her husband Tom Girardi and how he is a fraud and there's a big scandal breaking now. And she's in the middle of a season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes. So basically this documentary made by what was it?
It was just ABC News. And then the next thing that came on was it's like their 2020, but it's really janky.
Hmm. It is pretty janky and the way it's presented on Hulu is that it's the first episode of potentially many?
Yeah, because I feel like they'll follow the story. But this was everything that we know so far pre-trial, and it was one of the weirdest documentaries I've ever seen because it had like the craziest tonal shift about a quarter of the way in. The whole first part, the intro, is like housewives, cosmopolitans,
Mm-hmm.
financial fraud. Like Danielle Staub and Dana Wilkie are the talking heads, and
Which
Heather McDonald, and they're all like cracking jokes about Erika, like explaining who Erika Jayne is
yeah.
within the Housewives universe, and who she's married. She's married to this super rich guy who's a lawyer, a super powerful LA lawyer. Ka-chung, huge tonal shift. Here's a new character. It's this guy who was in a horrible explosion,
Mm-hmm.
who went into a coma and his girlfriend died because of a faulty gas line involving PG&E,
Yeah.
who are criminals.
Yeah.
And then he was represented by Tom Girardi. And then it turned out Tom Girardi stole all this money from him,
Yep.
steals from all his clients, seemingly, and specifically works on all these really like hard luck cases for people like victims of plane crashes, like widows and orphans, like just people. He has this heroic reputation because he represents like seemingly, people who get fucked by life randomly. Turns out he's doing some of the fucking personally.
Yes. So he just takes the money in the settlements, like they go into accounts, and then he just doesn't ever give them the money and then just like makes excuses and basically fucks over these people who like clearly need the cash for medical bills, like just to
Skin
exist.
grafts. I
Yeah.
mean, the guy, like, I thought the first victim they introduced is like this very interesting. He's such like a Bay Area type of guy, you know?
Yeah.
And then they show a clip of
Oh,
uh
you know who you look
Gavin
like?
Newsom on fucking Watch What Happens Live, California Governor Gavin Newsom talking about what a great friend Tom Girardi is and how Tom Girardi
Him
has
and Erika Jayne.
donated so much money to his campaign.
I will say that guy from the Bay Area who was badly injured in the explosion, you know who he looks like? The ex-boyfriend on Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, totally. I was like, this guy got fucking like Donnie Darko'd, you know? Like
Yeah.
before they said it was a gas explosion, I was like, oh, like because I knew there was a plane crash involved. I was like, did a plane crash like on this guy just
That's what I thought.
randomly? But no, it
Also,
was
her husband's known for the Aaron Brockovich case.
yes, although I had assumed he was the Albert Finney character because he kind of looks like him. And someone who watched Aaron Brockovich for real recently said it's that he's like the slimy corporate lawyer who comes in at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out he's just a complete slime ball. He has this huge firm in Beverly Hills and this great reputation, and he's like embedded in every level of California politics.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an absolute fraud and terrible person.
Yeah.
And specifically spent all the money by laundering it through Erika Girardi's pop music career, Erika Jayne.
Yes. So, oh God, it's so fucked up. Basically, it's implied that he just wanted to maintain this lifestyle they had and give Erica whatever the fuck she wanted by taking all this money, which is
Right. And
not
Erika
ideal.
has always been portrayed as like a gold digger with a heart of gold, you know, where it's
Yeah.
like, of course we know she married this guy for money, but she wouldn't marry someone who's like frauding people out of money from industrial accidents, right? And it's like, no, she clearly would. Her life story is like she moved from the boonies to New York at age 18 to be a star, and it like didn't work out, so she moved to LA and she was waitressing, and that's how she met Tom Girardi. um and then she was like his hot, presumably second or third wife, trophy wife. But the question in this documentary is like, how much did she know and when did she know it? Because she is claiming she knew about none of it. And I had always thought it was sort of like a Carmela Soprano situation of like, she knows something isn't right, but she doesn't want to know everything about it. You know, she just wants to be a little bit ignorant so she can just like enjoy it without thinking about it. But she's in way deeper than that.
I personally think she knew everything.
Yeah, I think she knew everything. And it's crazy that she went on a reality show. Just like there's a type of housewife, they talk about it in the doc, just that has a record, who goes on the show either already having a record that they must know on some level is going to like get exposed on the show, like Danielle Staub, or they're uncovered as frauds because of the attention brought to them from being on the show. Obviously, I think anyone who has a lot of money, there's probably a trail of blood, you know?
Yeah.
Like a lot of these people are also just like real estate developers and stuff like that, which is like also, you know, on the backs of other people. Like nobody is making money ethically here. But I think I just thought this guy made a lot of money from being a big name fucking corporate lawyer who takes on these big cases against companies. And yeah, he's a sociopath.
I don't fully understand how lawyers who like, I guess, do they get a cut of the percentage? You know, when they're not stealing the money, do they get a cut of like how much the settlement turns out to be?
No, they pay you. Somebody pays you to get them the settlement.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. It's like you're paying the law firm, so like you're not making that money. You're just getting a salary, right?
Yeah.
And then giving yourself bonuses. Like to me, that doesn't add up
It's
to millions
illegal
of
to
dollars.
like take, because he wasn't like skimming a little bit. He was just taking everyone's money from people that were vulnerable and didn't know any better and were like impressed by his accolades by doing this sort of Ponzi scheme. Maybe no, it's not a Ponzi scheme. Just a scheme. It's a scam. doing this scam where when the money is coming in, he says, let me put it in this other fund for you. It's more like a Bernie Madoff thing. It's like, let me be your money manager and we'll make this money even more money. And then it's like he's getting their consent to transfer it into this private fund and then it just disappears. So all of these people acknowledge that, like, in retrospect, that was stupid, but they're also like small town poor people or middle class people who just didn't know what they were doing and like assumed this person did. And he like tells them all like, oh, your case is so special to me, like you're the reason I got into this business.
Right. Which is, those voicemails are really dark.
They're so dark, and the fact that his compliment of choice is bitchin', that he tells people you're a really bitchin' guy.
You know, Erika Jayne taught him that.
For sure she taught him that.
In the
And then he's like,
90s.
this is what the kids are saying.
In
They're
the
saying you're a
90s.
bitchin' guy.
Yeah, well, that's what's fucked up. I think anyone around him could have taken one look at him and been like, yeah, he's rich, but he shouldn't be like $100 million rich.
For sure. But again, it's like money is so mysterious. When people
Yeah.
have a lot of money, it's like,
But
where
that's
does
the
it
thing.
come from?
They're watching him on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Erika. They show a clip of him literally presenting her with like $1 million art piece.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are laundering money right in front of everyone. There was just that big expose in the New York Times saying what everyone already knows, which is that Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all these psychos don't pay any taxes and launder all their money through like offshore accounts. So that's also what I thought it might be. I thought it might be like this guy owes back taxes and that's how he's like hoarding all this money. Or I thought he might have family money.
That's
You know,
wild.
that he was like from a dynasty himself and then became a rich lawyer, but that like he was, you know, friends with Gavin Newsom because he's already in with the Gettys.
Well, one thing we know about Gavin is
Oh, I need water.
Gavin is a not like, you know, Gavin was with what's that woman who was dating Donald Trump Jr. Like, Gavin has been around social circles that aren't necessarily that chill. Like
Kimberly Guilfoyle.
There you go. Like,
all these
his
rich people
crew,
are like going to Eyes Wide Shut parties together.
right? Like,
you know?
his crew's not necessarily hiding the fact that they're like fucking assholes, you know?
Right. And that it's like criminals up and down. And like that Gavin Newsom's whole thing was that he was put in power by the Gettys. He's not like a good politician or anything. He's just like a suit who they were.
Handsome guy.
McConnor Talk says this special was a weird way for me to learn Gavin was once on Watch What Happens Live. That was so funny. But yeah, I was like, of course.
But are you surprised he was on Watch?
No, like I'm not surprised, but it's so funny that they were like had all this footage from ABC, Hulu, Disney, Bravo universe of previous shows where Erika Jayne was like on an interview show talking about how great it is to be super rich. Fucking rules. Better than being poor is what she says. But yeah, when they just like cut to the tape of Gavin Newsom being like, Tom Girardi, one of my best friends, a close personal friend, definitely know him. It's like, there's going to come a point where everyone Gavin Newsom has ever been affiliated with is like going to trial, you know? And it's funny that there's like footage on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, I mean,
it reminded me of that Yashar Ali expose that just came out.
I need to read that.
You know?
Thank you for reminding me. Do you want to give me a rundown?
Well, it's like he knows he was a Gavin Newsom guy. And it's like he's also just this like absolute scammer who got into all these spaces by like being vouched for by other people who didn't really know him. And he did something really smart, which is like he leveraged the internet and the fact that like you could sort of forge this fake closeness with all these people. He's like talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah.
But he basically just like parlayed nothing into first a job with fundraising for Hillary Clinton and then like Gavin Newsom's campaign manager. And then he like became this hotshot journalist who like, breaks stories on Twitter and like isn't a traditional journalist. Um,
Wow.
but then he was also like sleeping on rich people's couches and like no one can remember how they met him.
Right. I did see that part.
And it's like, because no one's really met him in real life. They just talk on like Twitter. So it was, like Chrissy Teigen's like, oh yeah, he's a great guy. And it's like, you don't know him.
Well, Chrissy Teigen, that's a whole other story.
Well, I think it just made all these people, everyone who's an internet scammer, be like, wait, we're all gassing each other up, but like,
And none of them exist.
right.
Have you ever seen Chrissy Teigen in person?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. The whole Yashar Ali thing is surreal to me because I'm like, I don't even like, what do you do other than tweet stuff?
Well, that's like what the article is trying to investigate. And it turns out that one of the things he does is scam money off of people like the Getty family. But also I think he does some maybe some charity skimming as well. So yeah, people just steal money from other people. People just don't give a
Like,
fuck.
how do you do, like, how would I steal money from, like, I don't even,
You would have to be a different person than you are. You would have to be like,
but like, I don't even know how you would physically, like, you're like, hey man, give me a check.
You worm your way in. His thing was like worming his way into people's lives. And especially a lot of like lonely rich women, and being like, I'm your new best friend and I'll hang out with you all the time and compliment you and flatter you and then convince you to sell a bunch of paintings and give me a cut.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Because I'm like, what do you just go like, hey man, like, can I hold $20?
No, it's more like, it's like you convince them you're like a genius business strategist. And then you're like, here's what you need to do is like sell stuff and give money to me.
But Molly, I am a a genius.
Well,
business
yeah,
strategist.
that's why I'm Venmoing you all my money right now. Get ready.
Oh, that was like really easy.
Yeah. I hope you like $6.
All your money? That doesn't work for me. I need more, baby. I'm gonna have to go higher. I need.
Okay.
Who are you friends with?
Yeah, we need to work our way up.
Wow.
But it's the same thing where you're just like, there's a certain amount of like greased palms and all these circles where like people are just like, oh, well, like he's cool with this guy who's got clout. So like, he must be able to help me. And Tom Girardi is interesting because he obviously like was a real lawyer for a long time. I don't know at what point he crossed the threshold into being
I guess when,
or if he's always been doing it his whole career and just no one noticed, because they do say there were like some earlier incidents.
I think there were earlier incidents, and then also I think it went full throttle when Erika Jayne was like, I want to be a pop star.
Right. And then the question is like, did Erika Jayne agree to be a pop star just so they could start this LLC to launder all the money through? Because that is seemingly what they did, and how they got away with it is that they weren't laundering it through his own personal accounts. It was through the Erika Jayne It's Expensive to Be Me LLC. And then also spending it on like incredibly stupid, extravagant things like her glam team, their private airplane, their many homes, all of the things that Erika brags about on the show. I mean, it's fascinating because I do think she's in over her head, like if she ends up going down for that. I mean, I wonder if she'll just flip also.
Well, so towards the end of the doc, it says they haven't had a chance to question her yet because the trial got postponed. But like in the questioning of Girardi when he was depositioned, whatever, he says like, I had over like 50 million in cash and then like 50 million in stocks, and it's all gone. And so they're like, well, that makes everyone think, well, what the fuck are what are Erika Jayne's finances looking like?
Right. Like, did he transfer some of that to her?
Yeah.
so he could declare himself bankrupt or whatever. And really, she's like hiding it in the Bahamas.
Right. And interesting point, they never signed a prenup. So there's no real like there's no way of like holding that accountable of being like, well, she can't get any money. Like there's no
Yeah.
like
No, it
paper
reminded
trail in
me of
that
like,
regard.
yeah, like on The Sopranos when Adriana sees the thing about she thinks a wife can't testify against her husband.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true, but
Is that a classic movie myth?
I think it's a classic. I think it's like she sees it on a TV show and she's like, oh, okay, if we get married, then like I won't have to testify. And it's not true. But I do wonder. And I just wonder if Erika Jayne will sell him out. And he's also claiming he has dementia because he's got all these like Beverly Hills doctor friends. Of course, he can find someone who's going to like give him whatever diagnosis will help get him out of testifying.
To answer your question, yes, Erika Jayne will sell him out in a fucking second.
I mean, I hope so.
She will stomp on his throat with her stilettos on her way to sell him out.
How many fucks does she give? None.
No.
None. Not one.
The evidence was there. It's expensive to be me. Play that backwards. My husband is laundering money to support me and my dreams.
My husband, who I met at the strip club next to the Bada Bing. I love when they specify that because I was like, oh, is that the real Bada Bing? And it's like, no, it's next to the Bada Bing, which is real.
I like, what's the housewife who was like, I was also at that strip club?
Danielle Staub, because she was a stripper. That's why Teresa called her a prostitution hooer.
Which is like, it's a stripper, like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, man. It's fine to be a stripper. And Teresa was married to a criminal, so she didn't know. I like Danielle Staub. She's chaotic. But yeah, then this plotline is just happening in real time now on Real Housewives. So they ended this like Tahoe trip series of episodes with just at the end, after saying nothing about it the whole time, they get a text from Erika Jayne saying like, hey babies, like me and my husband are getting divorced. Can't talk about it. Bye.
And I mean, like, she's like, hey guys, like, respect my privacy at this time, but yes, we're getting a divorce. Okay, bye. And then they're all like,
hey.
This is me setting up my FaceTime while I'm doing my makeup. Did you even know about this? And then like, what's her name? Lisa Rinna, like,
that was a great montage. What? 2 days later. What? I mean, I'm very excited about the Erika Jayne plotline. Also, new season breakout star Kathy Hilton.
Oh, fill us in, baby.
Oh, I met her today, profiling her for a magazine called Bustle, and
Bousselet. I think it's Bousselet.
It's Bousselet. She was just like she is on the show. She's like kind of a little bit of a kooky broad. She's fun.
Did she say anything too good, or do we have to wait and find out?
No, you gotta wait for that. You gotta wait for the story to drop.
Did you meet her in person or over Zoom?
I met her in person and I went to her house. And that
really
was amazing because it was so hot today and her house had like incredible air conditioning.
Oh, I'm sure it was a tight 71.
Yeah. I mean, it was also just cool. Like you rarely get to go to people's houses. And she had like good taste for a rich person. Like,
well, she had like, Paris, didn't she? Was she in Beverly Hills? Is she like one of the last remaining Beverly Hills housewives, literally?
Oh yeah. And she seems like she really doesn't need the show and isn't like fame hungry in the way that most housewives are. She was kind of like, I got talked into it by Kyle and it seemed fun because I like wasn't doing anything during COVID anyway.
Well, that's what it seems like that There's no way Kathy's never been asked to be on this show before.
Yeah, but she said that she had like she wasn't sure about the show because she like hated seeing Kyle uh and Kim fight in the first season.
Yeah.
You know, because those are like her real sisters.
Yeah.
But she said one of the producers is like her friend and talked her into doing it and was like, it'll be fun. And she said it was fun because she was just sort of like, she's like, I don't like to fight. I just like to to pull pranks and do goofs.
And boy, does she with that vodka martini that wasn't water.
That's what I'm drinking now is water, actually.
The
water martini.
I don't like being out of the joke. I don't see color.
Ugh, Sutton. A heel turn.
I'm moving. She's such a bitch. All right.
I'm moving, and that's the same as having to assimilate into a racist world.
She is the worst.
Similar.
I hope she gets her shit together. Doubt it. All right.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching.
That's it.
It's so hot. I'm fucking sweating.
Yeah, we said we'd go until we were sweating, and
I can feel it like dripping down my back. It's a little gross. I'm gonna take a shower.
That's enough.
Turn the air conditioning on. Still hot.
Yeah, turn that AC on, baby. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DeckheadsPod on Instagram and Twitter. Show up. What's up, ladies?
These aren't guns, they're fireworks. Pew, pew.
I'm at Anna Hostnier. Molly is
at Molly Lambert.
Follow us, entertain us, send us tea. You know we love it. Just a reminder, we are taking next week off. We're gonna watch both the reunions, and then we'll come back week after with some hot takes.
And then we'll get ready for Med.
Yeah, we'll also be talking about Med because I think it airs next week. No, week after next.
See you in a beautiful seaside castle fortress in Croatia again.
Yeah, we'll see what Captain Sandy is doing, and should be a good time. So yeah, thanks so much, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye 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 bye.